Great Lakes Lacquer sent me the May 2024 release to share with you today. There are 3 polishes as a tribute to the maker's late mother, Jo, and the Let It Grow collection of 7 polishes inspired by the Lorax. The pre-order is open through June 3rd. The formulas on these all dried quickly and due to the shimmer are a little prone to bubbling, so I recommend thin coats painted in close succession followed by top coat. Each is priced at $13.50, and the Let It Grow collection has a bundle deal at $90. First, I'll start off with the 3 polishes for Jo. Great Lakes Lacquer, a butterfly, is a pale teal with a strong red gold green multichrome iridescent shimmer and linear hollow shimmer. I wore this in 4 coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This does pretty much look like glowing abalone shell on your nails. It is not prone to bubbling, but does have a little bit of a chalkier or thicker matte quality to it, so top coat will help it shine. Great Lakes Lacquer, but what is grief if not love preserving, is a re-release of a polish originally released at Polish and Beauty Expo in 2022. It was then reformulated and released in October 2022 on the brand's website. I have that formulation here. It is a deep plum purple with red, orange, gold, multichrome iridescent large particle shimmer and linear and scattered hollow shimmer. I wore it in 3 thin coats, but 2 will cover. It dries quickly and has a good formula. This one is simply spectacular and has a lovely contrast between the cool base and warm shimmer. The hollow has sort of a blue flash due to bleeding from my top coat. If you prefer more of a metallic hollow effect, you can use a water-based top coat before a regular one. Finally, Great Lakes Lacquer Mother's Mauve version 2 is a brown mauve base with strong blue indigo violet multichrome shimmer and hollow shimmer. I wore it in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This also has a super strong glowing flash to it with that ghostly blue shimmer. Now we've got the Let It Grow collection, inspired by the Lorax. Great Lakes Lacquer Butterfly Milk is an African violet jelly with red, orange, gold, multichrome iridescent shimmer. I wore this one in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This has a pretty shimmer and looks like a normal polish, not one of the hyper glowing shimmers that you see in some of the other collection polishes. Great Lakes Lacquer, I'm Frankenstein's head on a spider's body, is a dove gray with aqua indigo duochrome iridescent shimmer. This was more opaque than the others, and I wore it in 3 thin coats, but 1 or 2 will cover. It is very shimmery, but not one of the most iridescent polishes in the collection. Great Lakes Lacquer, I'm going to eat this, but I'm highly offended by it, is a blue, magenta, orange, gold, green, multichrome iridescent shimmer with a slightly green tinged base look to it. I wore it in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This one, like a butterfly, has a somewhat chalky, matte, thicker drying characteristic, but it isn't quite as shifty as that polish. It needs top coat for shine. It is pretty strongly iridescent in person. Great Lakes Lacquer Let It Grow is a vibrant classic green with green, blue, purple iridescent multichrome shimmer. I wore this in 4 thin coats, but 3 cover. It is super iridescent and glowing in person, almost like your nails were touched up with CGI. Great Lakes Lacquer Summer, Autumn, Winter, and Disco is a pale mint green with orange, gold, green, multichrome iridescent shimmer and the very smallest gold hollow micro glitter. I wore it in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. The glitters don't make any texture on the nail when dry. This was nicely shimmery, but not knock your socks off glowy. Great Lakes Lacquer, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, is a vibrant international orange with orange, gold, green, multichrome iridescent shimmer. I wore this in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This is one of the mega glowy shimmers, pretty much metallic, like Let It Grow. Finally, Great Lakes Lacquer, you greedy little dirt bag, is a cola brown jelly with aqua indigo purple multichrome iridescent shimmer. I wore it in 4 thin coats, but 2 or 3 will cover. This one is also super iridescent on the nail.